Welcome to Donuts with Diffit, where we take a couple minutes Saturday morning and check out some of the awesome Diffit resources that you all made this week. With, of course, coffee and donuts. And this week I have a very special donut. It's called a pączki. Now, if you haven't heard of that, I'm also going to start by giving you a little bit of a cultural lesson here. Pączki are sort of infamous donuts if you're from the Midwest or anywhere else, I guess, around the country where there's like a huge Polish-American population. I live right outside of Detroit, and so it's a really big deal here. I guess traditionally, pączki were eaten the Thursday before Lent, but in the United States, they're most often eaten on the Tuesday before Lent or the Tuesday right before Ash Wednesday. So kind of similar to if you're familiar with like Mardi Gras in New Orleans, we celebrate Fat Tuesday in Detroit, and we get these lovely, big, fluffy, yeasty, rich donuts that are made out of a real buttery, dense, like almost like a brioche kind of dough, and filled with a variety of fruit fillings. So cheers. I hope you have a donut also as we look through these lessons today. Let's take a bite and get started. Hold on. It's rich. Look at that. Look at all that. Wow. We got to get to the fruit. Give me 1 second. Blueberry. Good stuff. All right. Wow. I got to clean myself up. Okay. Onward. Our first packet today. Super exciting. Math. 2-digit addition with regrouping. Look at this. How to regroup in addition. First of all, look at these 1s and 10s that I can edit. Did you know you could do this? All right, what else we got here? Guided practice. Look at this additional practice. Wow. Solve the 12 addition problems below. Remember to add the ones first. How cool. Regrouping code breaker. Oh, there's a code key. What did the 0 say to the 8? I don't know. And we've got an exit ticket. Good deal. This is super fun. Next, informational text. The life of Eliza Hamilton, or as most of us know her in 2026, Eliza. No relation, by the way, daughter of the revolution, partner in the founding, legacy of philanthropy and preservation, biographical analysis, graphic organizer, good stuff. Lots of space for students to write. We've got a historical perspective T-chart during the revolution and post-revolutionary legacy. Check this out. While she is often remembered as the wife of Alexander Hamilton, her life can be divided into 2 distinct periods of influence. That's right. Next up, post-secondary pathways comparison. Oh, this is like a counseling resource. Interesting. Simple, easy to look at. Personal reflection. I can totally see students sort of like reading about this, maybe doing a little bit of side research, conversation, and then thinking and jotting down some of this. This is so important. Like, what a great resource to make sure that we're sharing with students. Elevator pitch. Okay, CTE, counseling, but you know what? I would bring this into an ELA class. Like, we could totally practice writing a really succinct like summary. Whoa, financial literacy. Math class also, understanding ROI, return on investment, student loans, debt to income ratio. I could use this right now, to be totally honest. Next, the Big Bang, an introductory reading. This feels big. I need sustenance. I don't know. Wow. I keep worrying that I have jelly on my face. Okay, the beginning of everything. Yeah. Check for understanding. Vocabulary concepts. Ooh, look at this. The balloon analogy. Think of the universe like a balloon with dots drawn on it. As the balloon inflates, the space between the dots stretches, even though the dots themselves aren't walking away. That's actually wild to think about. Oh, and we get to do it. Modeling the expanding universe with balloons. Oh, what a cool visual thing as we're thinking about the universe. Huh, I learned something new today. Exit ticket. I could probably crush this. Cheers. All right, y'all, it's time for a quick coffee break, and in case you missed it, which is the part of the show where I take you through a couple of the most recent Diffit updates in case you missed them. Starting on our homepage, now you can upload an image. You choose an image you have saved, and you can add additional prompting to let Diffit know what you want to do with this image. I uploaded an image of a bunch of different kinds of donuts. I want to have students practice ratios with donut types, and so we've got real world math application. The other thing that we added is the ability to set a reading level and language, and that's going to again add to everything that Diffit is thinking about when it produces your resource. And just like that, it's pulling from the image, so I didn't have to list out these different types of donuts. We've got a couple different activities where we're using pricing. We're practicing the math skills in a real life scenario. I've got one more exciting thing to show you. If I come all the way up here and click on this plus at the very top, I can add a couple different versions of this resource. I'm going to start with a teacher guide. It's going to populate the request in Diffit chat. And this is the exciting part, is the teacher guide actually got added as a separate tab. So I've got the student facing packet that has the math activities, and then I've got the teacher guide, which I can use. I can share with a substitute. I can share with a parapro. So that was in case you missed it. I hope you enjoyed the break and maybe learned something new. If you're excited about any of these features, please send me a note. And if you like this and it was helpful, make sure you subscribe and follow. Next, the history of Tangrams. Oh, this is that game. There's like different shapes that you can kind of move around. We have like magnetic ones. They started in China a long time ago. I didn't know that. As early as the 1800s, tangrams were a craze all over the world. What a wild discussion to have with students. Like, what does it mean for something to be a craze all over the world in the 1800s? What would that look like? And then we're practicing shape. Of course, we're practicing shape identification. So this is really a hook to like get students excited about talking about and learning about shapes. And now it's like, okay, now we're going to, how do shapes come together and build something? How many of each shape can you find in these images? How cool. Trace the shape names, Tangram creation challenge. This is really challenging students to like do some really critical thinking using these shapes and these images. I love it. Wow. If your Tangram train could travel anywhere in the world, where would it go? Describe your destination and draw the scenery you would see outside the train window. In this space, you'll go, hey, let me know in the comments. If your Tangram train could travel anywhere in the world, where would it go? European cities. Ooh, design your own European city. What a cool like introduction to urban planning. Like especially our students who do live in cities, or maybe they visited cities and they're familiar with some of these things like a train station or like a park, right? Like we all love parks, but why are they there? How did they get there? How did roads get designed the way they did? Like you start with the mapping. And so I think that would be really fun for students to think about. Here, I had more of this. Now you can see all that fruit and the dough is like really, it's not like your standard jelly donut. Man, let's see. Writing practice. Oh, it's a paired reading. Hold on. Part 1, the pros. Part 2, the cons. This is cool. This is like a written debate. And then you have a writing prompt. You've read 2 perspectives. Write an essay in which you argue whether technology is more helpful or more harmful. Oh, I love this writing checklist. And I think like students are going to connect with this. Now we have an introduction to abstract photography and a really cool image. Comprehension vocabulary. Dig it. Ooh, take an abstract photo of something in the classroom. What would it be and which technique would you use? Look around your classroom or think about your classroom. Tell me what you would take an abstract photo of. I'm super interested in hearing. Leave me a comment. Ooh, scavenger hunt. I want to take this photography class. This sounds like a lot of fun. This is a good one. The physics and history of catapults. Of course, the history and science of ancient siege engines. Who doesn't want to learn about this? Oh, is it a physics lesson? Is it physics or history? 3 iconic designs, trajection and gravity. Yeah, physics. Okay, physics vocabulary. We're learning about energy. Look at that graphic. Okay, I've not studied catapults. Maybe I'm in the minority. Literal comprehension and analytical thinking. What a cool way to split up and like help students think metacognitively as they learn. And then engineering and physics application. Ooh, catapult design challenge. This sounds like fun. Or maybe it's dangerous. Hey, thanks for joining me for Donuts with Diffit this morning. I hope maybe you got inspired, saw something that you could use in your classroom, or were introduced to something Diffit can do that you want to go and try. Reach out to me if you need a code to access Diffit Premium, because I want to make sure you can play with everything that's possible. And let me know what else you want to see in this series, because I would love to incorporate some more of your feedback as we look at resources that teachers create every week. If you like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get little notifications when these come out every weekend, and I'll see you next time.